I never thought driving at night would turn into my worst nightmare. It was a stormy night, with rain pouring down relentlessly, as if nature itself had conspired to keep me from reaching my destination. My headlights sliced through the darkness, revealing the desolate highway that stretched ahead. The thunder roared, and the occasional lightning illuminated the barren landscape, revealing shadows that seemed to move menacingly. I had taken this shortcut many times before, but tonight the familiar route felt unsettlingly different. The rain seemed to distort reality, making everything look distorted and eerie. My hands gripped the steering wheel tightly as I tried to shake off the creeping sense of dread that gnawed at my mind. Miles passed, and I hadn't seen another car in what felt like an eternity. The isolation was almost suffocating. Then, through the rain-streaked windshield, I caught a glimpse of a figure on the side of the road. It was a hitchhiker, a silhouette standing alone in the darkness, drenched and shivering. A part of me wanted to help, but another part of me screamed to keep driving. My heart pounded in my chest as I debated what to do. But before I could make up my mind, the figure was gone, vanished into thin air. I blinked, thinking it was just my imagination playing tricks on me, but the hitchhiker was nowhere to be seen. I shook off the eerie encounter as a result of my exhausted mind, hoping it would be the last of such illusions. But then, the radio began to flicker. The static intensified until it sounded like distorted whispers, faintly echoing through the car. Panic set in, and I fumbled to turn the radio off, but the whispers persisted, as if the voices were trapped within the car itself. Attempting to focus on the road ahead, I saw a flickering light in the distance. Relief washed over me. Maybe there was a gas station or a motel up ahead where I could take shelter. As I got closer, the flickering light turned out to be a dimly lit roadside diner, seemingly stuck in time. I parked my car and stepped inside, the bell above the door chiming with an eerie sound. The diner was dimly lit, and a few patrons sat scattered across the booths. Their faces were hidden in shadows, making it difficult to discern their features. The air inside felt heavy, suffused with a sense of foreboding. I hesitated but decided to take a seat at the counter. The waitress, an old woman with deep wrinkles and piercing eyes, appeared from behind the counter. She had a strange aura about her, as if she knew more than she let on. "Stormy night to be out on the road, isn't it, dear?" she said with a chilling smile. "Yes, it's been quite unsettling," I replied, trying to mask my unease. "You should be careful on this road," she warned. "It has a way of bringing out the darkness in people." Her words sent shivers down my spine. I wanted to ask her what she meant, but before I could, the lights in the diner flickered and went out. The darkness swallowed everything, and the whispers from my car returned, growing louder and more sinister. In the darkness, I heard strange noises and rustling, as if unseen creatures were lurking just beyond the dim candlelight. Panic gripped me, and I stumbled towards the door, desperate to escape this nightmarish place. As I reached for the door handle, the lights flickered back on, and everything returned to normal. The waitress stood behind the counter as if nothing had happened, but her eyes held an eerie glint. "Leaving so soon, dear?" she asked, her voice colder than before. I didn't respond and hastily left the diner, fleeing back to my car. My heart pounded in my chest, and I sped off, leaving the diner and its unsettling inhabitants behind. As I drove, the road seemed to stretch on endlessly, and the rain continued to pour. My mind was filled with haunting images of the diner and the hitchhiker, wondering if they were just figments of my imagination or something more sinister. Suddenly, I noticed a figure standing in the middle of the road. It was the hitchhiker again, drenched in rain and illuminated by my headlights. My heart sank as I approached, fearing the worst. But as I got closer, the hitchhiker's face became visible and my blood ran cold. It was my own face, a distorted and grotesque version of myself. The doppelganger grinned malevolently, reaching out towards my car. Terrified, I swerved to avoid the apparition, but it was too late. The car skidded on the wet road and veered off into the darkness. I could hear the twisted laughter of the doppelganger as my car crashed into a tree. The world went black, and the rain continued to pour. To this day, I'm not sure if I survived that night or if I'm trapped in some eerie realm, doomed to drive this desolate highway forever. The darkness has consumed me, and the haunting memories of that fateful night continue to haunt my every waking moment. If you ever find yourself on a stormy night, driving due,